In this video, I want to break down how I would scale a web design business or a web design service so that it would be more predictable, more profitable, more scalable. Now, if you're a web designer, whether you're a freelancer or a web design agency, and you found it difficult to become more scalable because every single type of client requires different type of website, they need different types of pages, etc., this video is for you. Now, one of the key pieces of building a more systematic, predictable, scalable business is streamlining your operations. And that requires you to have some level of standardization. Now, I'm not saying you can't do custom work. Inside of the concept of productization, there can still be custom deliverables, but the way in which you do the work needs to be systematic and repeatable each and every time for each and every client. So the number one thing that I would do first inside of my business, if I were to make it more scalable as a web designer, is to identify my ideal client. Because by specializing in a particular type of client, I'll know that they'll need similar things, meaning similar types of pages. They want a similar outcome from their website. Maybe they are looking to book more calls. If they are actually other B2B professionals, their end goal is to demonstrate what they do, demonstrate their expertise, while also getting people to schedule consultations and or sales calls, right? Discovery calls. So by identifying my ideal client, I'm going to actually inherently standardize what type of deliverable they actually need, or the kind of the scope of work, if you will, that will allow each and every client to move through my process, which can be repeatable each and every client. If I'm serving a B2B professional and then an e-com store, it's going to be more difficult because what an e-com store owner is going to need is going to look a lot different from a B2B professional. A B2B professional probably needs a more simple website with specific pages, but if you're an e-commerce store and you have 1,000 different SKUs, there's going to be a lot of different products that need different sorts of product templates and things like that. So the first thing, if you want to have a more scalable business, is to standardize by identifying your ideal type of client, because that'll help frame the entire project, the service, the products that you offer. Once I've done that, so in this example, let's say I serve B2B professionals, right? I'm going to look at all of the past clients that I've worked with. I'm going to go look at some of the most well-known, most trafficked B2B professional sites. So I'll look at consultants, I'll look at some of the top agencies as well, but I'll also go have conversations with these folks, and I'm going to identify the top 3 to 5 most necessary website pages that each and every single one of them need. Like, no matter what stage of the game my ideal client comes to me at, they a minimum need these pages, which means every single client will require these 3 to 5, maybe 10, whatever, pick the number, but it is a fixed number of pages that they're going to get. So for example, they're all going to need a homepage. Many of these B2B professionals will need a page about their services, like the What We Do page. They'll need a page to capture leads, a lead magnet template page. They'll also want a products, programs, and services page, Who We Help page, where you have all of your testimonials, and an About Us page, a little bit of your backstory, why they should believe in you and your methodology and your approach. So that's just an example, right? So we have a couple pages. We have the home page, we have an opt-in template page, we have a program services page, we have a Who We Help page, we have an About Us page. So that's 5 pages right there that we know pretty much every B2B professional will need. So inside of my package, I will guarantee a delivery around those 5 pages. And inside of those 5 pages, now the client doesn't need to know this next piece, but I will have in my back pocket a go-to template and structure, maybe a couple different options for each of those pages, like a layout, like a wireframe. So for example, on the home page, I'll know that at the top, there'll be some sort of hero image with a, what we do statement. There'll be a button that will lead someone to giving me their email address. I will have, the next section down will be broken into the top 3 struggles and obstacles that our ideal clients have, with the 3 primary solutions and benefits of that we will get them to achieve. The next section will explain our approach, our unique methodology. There will be a client testimonial or 3, maybe a carousel. And then we'll have the call to action woven multiple times throughout that page, depending upon how long it is. And so on that page, the invitation is to schedule a discovery call. We'll explain in that call to action what the process looks like. Step 1, pick a time that works for you, fill out a short questionnaire. We're going to hop on a call and we're going to review these things about your business. That would be a layout, a wireframe that I have, and maybe there's 2 to 3 variations of that I know I can get any client to use and find success with. This comes from having worked with B2B professionals before and also looking at what some of the top websites are doing out in the similar landscape. So right there, we got 5 pages. Each of those pages have, 1 to 3 different layouts that we typically go to, and that is my bundle. And I will have a fixed price for delivering that to my ideal client. Now, because my ideal client is similar, right? They're all B2B professional services. I can have a fixed price that will allow me to deliver these 5 pages in a fixed amount of time. So I can take it to each and every new prospect. Now, here's the thing. The shorter that you can deliver this, I believe, and what I've experienced is that the more you can charge. You could, and I see many people span those 5 pages out to 6 months, but what if you could actually deliver that in 1 or 2 days? I've invested in multiple service providers where they deliver me a landing page in a day. And that was a big part of the value proposition. And they actually worked with me to give me exactly the sales page that I needed in 1 day. We met over Zoom and it was a really great experience. We had a kickoff call. So that leads me to, how do you deliver this thing? We've identified the who, B2B professionals. We've identified the package. It's those 5 pages. We have a few layouts that we're going to pull from that we know will give our clients exactly what they need. We're going to have a kickoff call where we're going to get all the info that we need from them in order to deliver those 5 pages in the short window of time. Again, the shorter, the better. We've seen service providers deliver websites, packages like this in a day, in 7 days, in 30 days. You'll be able to really start to get predictability around this. If you know that you could do these 5 pages in 1 day following the kickoff call, once you have everything that you need. So kickoff call, get everything you need, and the 1 day is scheduled on the kickoff call. You could probably deliver dozens of these each and every month. And if you had team members that could then follow your process, you could be delivering 20 plus websites a month for your ideal client. And because you have a repeatable process, you would actually be able to offload a lot of these tasks a whole lot faster because you have the layouts that we talked about. Once you have the questionnaire that you follow for the kickoff call, someone else could be taking the kickoff calls, following your step-by-step process to get everything that the client needs. And again, the shorter that you create that delivery window, 1 day or 7 days, the easier it's going to be to create seamless communication, right? A lot of projects have scope creep inside of the creative services industry because of the large gap between the start and the finish date. People change their minds and it leads to the original scope being out of scope and then you spending more time, which eats into your margin. By having this package, by having a truncated, very short, potent delivery window, you will be able to serve a lot more clients. Now, here's the thing. You might be saying, but Greg, I don't have recurring revenue. That's fine. We can bolt that on later because once you work with your B2B client and they have the website, we need to ask ourselves, well, what are other things that they might need on a recurring basis? This is where you add on your back-end offer, and I'd probably have standardized formats for these things too. Here is just some examples. You could say, hey, every single month for X dollars, we are going to create X pieces of social media marketing collateral, or maybe you're really good at designing ad campaigns, or maybe you also have skills in SEO. Now, some of you might only be good at web design. Thus, you don't have really any great opportunity to bolt on a recurring stream. And that is fine. But what I would suggest is that you go get those skills, because the best thing is having clients that never leave. And if you are only building out websites, while you can get great infusions of cash and it can become predictable, you still want to keep clients around so that you're not always chasing, 10 or 20 new clients a month in order to hit your income goals. So if you don't have the skills needed to offer up something that is needed in a more consumable fashion, an ongoing fashion, I would go build those skills over time so that you can have a recurring stream. In my business, which we did not focus on web design, we focused on marketing automation. We had a recurring program that clients subscribed to where each and every month we would help them build out marketing automation campaigns. And we'd meet with them once a month and say, hey, what are your top priorities right now? And we identify 1 to 2 things that we could work on that month to further systematize and automate their business. So 1 month we suggested a new sales pipeline system. The next month, it was a new client onboarding campaign. The next month, it was a webinar funnel. And so there was certain deliverables that we were able to deliver each and every month, and we were making proactive suggestions on what we could do. Now, if you're an SEO, there's a perfect opportunity to have SEO woven into a recurring feature, automation, lead generation, collateral design, things like that could be an add-on recurring program after they get that 1 or 2 day or 7 day website design project. And that's fundamentally the model that would take me to 7 figures and beyond with a lean and mean team of probably less than 5 people. We'd have 3 people able to build out those 5-day packages and take those onboarding calls. And then I would probably have 1 or 2 different people that are there to help on the recurring side as well. And so you can have a very small team doing web design and have really 2 main offers. One is the website makeover, if you want a name for it, where they get those 5 pages done for them in a very short window of time. And that can even roll right into the recurring program where you're now providing assets, services, campaigns, things that now will drive back to feed that website that you just created. A big key here is having those things complement the work that you did in that front end project. So we have 2 offers, the website makeover. Ideally, it's done in 1 to 7 days, but 30 days if that's your thing. And then it can roll right into a $1,500 to $3,000 a month recurring service, recurring program, not a retainer, where there are specific deliverables that they are getting each and every month that they will need inside of their business to help them grow. Social media marketing assets, lead generation campaigns, marketing automation campaigns, things like that. And that recurring program could have a 6 or even 12-month contract. It could be month to month. There could be a lot of different ways you do that, where you now will find that 40 to 50% of the clients that buy into the upfront website makeover will convert into a recurring client on the back end, which will then obviously lighten the need for, new clients on the front end if you're keeping half of the clients that come in into a recurring relationship. So if you're a website designer, freelancer, and you're looking for opportunities to scale, that is my suggestion. We've had numerous clients do very similar things and find that predictability where clients will come to them because they're looking for that website makeover. They don't want to build a website that takes 12 months. And so figure out how can you give them the thing that they need in the shortest window possible, and then get them bought into a recurring arrangement that gives them more things that they need that will then feed that first project that you did. If you found this useful, I'd love to know your biggest takeaway inside the comments and/or questions, and I will see you down there.